Welcome to Bond SCX. This is X marks the spot to get you on the top. This is Lance the Bargain Stock Bounty Hunter back at you again with another great plays of the week. This is week 5, January 30th to February 3rd. I've got Daz joining me today, and we're going to go through some great plays of the week and go through the market and see where the stock market is. Starting off with the Nasdaq. I'd like to start off with the Nasdaq and see where the market is going. And so looked at the Nasdaq last week and pulled out a couple opportunities that were happening historically. So it's projecting that the fourth attempt to cross the EMA was going to happen, if not this past week or this coming week. And so it looks like we saw this on Thursday. Pretty key metric when it comes to the charts. And we see the price kind of sustained and hold and continue to push on Friday into the Nasdaq. So the MACD still looks pretty good. A little pullback looks like coming, and see the momentum still looking strong. We also see that what I like to use as my favorite kind of a metric to see where the price wants to be is what I call the cake band. So this is the band in between these two purple lines here. You actually see the price really going into where we expect it to be, where the price wants to be. And so everything's really looking good for the Nasdaq. We do have a lot of earnings coming up this week as far as key Nasdaq stocks. I believe you got Apple, you got Meta, and I believe you got Google as well. Some of the key top blue chip stocks that are going to be reporting earnings this week. So be aware of that. But I do think the Nasdaq is going into a better place. We'll see if it comes down to supports on this SMA. I think by Friday, if there's some potential earnings that may not be so suitable, I believe by Friday at least, we may see a little bit of a pullback to 11,354 to somewhere around the 11,539 by Friday. So good opportunity, low risk for it to pull down, but good opportunity for the pull into up until the 11,800s this week. So moving on to the New York Stock Exchange. Very similar. See a little bit of a pullback Friday, but last week it did continue to push some more, and this one has been pretty nice over the last month or two. Coming into the year, we see where it was down into the 15,121s, and we see by Friday it came into 15,994. So right below 16,000. I expect by Friday this one to be somewhere around the 15,811 to 16,016. So this is another one that is already in the cake range. It is where the price wants to be. So I expect to see a little resistance at some point, come back in support down here. So see a little bit of pullback on the MACD, and the momentum starts to slow a little bit. So wouldn't be surprised if this one pulls back some. But again, this one has another opportunity this week with a lot of earnings reports coming out for some key Nasdaq stocks, and New York Stock Exchange stocks. So let's get into the plays of the week, and we've got some pretty good ones this week. We'll start at the top. We see a lot of strong moving stocks coming into this week. Tesla moved really strong last week, and we called out Upstart. It moved really strong last week, and we also called out Asana, and it moved really strong last week. So some really good stocks that moved from kind of a low trend to a higher trend last week. So really good coming into this week. So I'm going to move on down just a little bit. Again, we want to catch stocks that are going into trends of 4, going into trends of 6. So we want to catch the trend early as much as possible. And so with that being said, we got Southwestern Energy coming in this week with a trend of a 2, 12 cents on sale at a true value of $5.68. So let's look at Southwestern Energy. I have it as a short-term trade. And one thing you'll notice into this week, and I guess probably before I begin talking about Southwestern Energy and some of the other call-outs, let's look at the price of crude oil. And that's going to be pretty key into what I call out this week. So we look at crude oil over the last year, 1 day, and we see the price of oil starting to really take a little bit of a push up. And so over the last 2 weeks, we see oil prices have jumped up. We see starting to support on the 5-day EMA on the Williams Alligator. So we'll see the support here. I'm thinking this is going to continue to rise up this week and probably the next following week. So that's kind of a reason why I'm calling out some of these stocks that are kind of low end, but they're also oil driven stocks. So let's look at Southwestern Energy. 1 year, 1 day. We've caught this one out, Daz, back in, looks like we called out back in November. And so this one came down to price on Friday. Very next week, it turned around pretty quickly on a short-term call out. Turned around 14% in 5 days. So the very next week, we called it out. It turned around 14%. And then we see a deep dive. It came in, attacked the SMA. And we see a deep dive, and it came down into a kind of a bearish mode. So coming into this year, it was on a wavelength of a +1. So it's +1 extended to the high side. So it makes very much sense for this one to have pulled down to be to pull down to a wavelength of be a 0 after the end of this week. And so this one should definitely return back. I think this week I see a little manipulation coming into this week. From last week, we see 27 million shares at 583 manipulated down to the downside. So I think at 536 is a great opportunity to catch this one. I think there's some opportunity here at 536 to get in, and by Friday get out around 559 to 573 at the low end. So that's about 6%. This week, and I'll see the MACD and the momentum looking really well. Momentum's below the midway point with the opportunity to move up. And I see the MACD down low as well, below the midpoint, and definitely opportunity for this one to move up. So I think by Friday, definitely get in with 4 to 6%. And that's my call out this week for Southwestern Energy at $5.36. Daz, what's your call out for Southwestern Energy this week?
The same exact as yours, 536.
What's your thoughts on Southwest Energy?
I just think you can get in a quick bounce from there. I was looking at a little bit of demand, and what day was that? On the 26th, they had a lot of volume come in.
26. Yep.
I'm looking at the 30-minute.
30-minute chart.
That pretty decent amount of volume come in after the morning sell-off. So I was like, okay. So I think there's just a little bit of demand and opportunity to buy around that range.
Okay.
For a quick hitter, like long-term position-wise, maybe start at like 430.
430. Okay. Okay. Good stuff. See, this one is, again, this one's definitely below the cake range too. So yes, a lot of opportunity for this one to climb. It could still fall, like Dad said, to 430. Definitely get some support there. And I think that'd be a great loading opportunity. This one's also been a pretty profitable and showing profit over the last few earnings reports as well. So I think they do have an earnings report coming up and end of the month. So something else to be looking out for if you're liking this one long term. All right, moving on to the next one this week. We've got SM Energy. So SM Energy, a long-term play, trend of a 2 at 28 cents over price, coming in at a true value of $32.88. And so this is one we called out last week. Again, another stock that will be predicated by the price of oil. And so looking at last week's call out, this one did not come down quite to my price point. It got really close. Let's look at a closer range, 30 minutes. So it got down to, looks like $31.99 on the low. And I called it out at $31.71. So didn't quite come down to price, but you do see where it came down to true value, below true value a few times. This day, of course, it was below, and then the next day on Thursday it came down below and touched off on true value. So couple opportunities to get in last week at True Value. Of course, I was reaching down a little low. Wanted to try to get it as cheap as I could. So didn't get in on Southwestern SM Energy last week, but I think there's another opportunity this week. The MACD is still looking good. Momentum still looking very good. Still a little resistance on the 13-day EMA. And so I think there's an opportunity for this one to pull back a little bit. Still on the wave count of a -1, so it does want to get to 0, which means it would be wants to climb from the end of this date to the end of the month. So I expect it by the end of the month to be at the best case above 34.10. But I think by 32.02 is a great price this week, and if we get out by around 34.26 to 34.10, somewhere in that range, you're getting out around 7% for the end of this week. And I think even long term, this one's a good one to hold on to. So see where the price wants to be, see where the MACD is, where the SMA is at. So great opportunity for this one. I think I see a little resistance again on Friday, so you may see this one pull back, and 32.02 would be a great price point to get in with SM Energy this week. So that's my call out this week for SM Energy, 32.02. That's what your call out for SM Energy this week. Yo, you on mute?
On mute. Yeah. I got down 31.97.
197. Okay. Okay. So yeah, not too far off. Not too far off. Yeah, you went 29.80 last week. Little lower than me, and this was a tough one to try to gauge because I know there was some uncovered manipulation down here that I was expecting to get covered myself. So, what's your thoughts on SM Energy? Anything
I just
specific?
think it's a long-term play. That's all.
Okay. All right.
I don't really got, not too much on that one, but I was looking at it, man. If you could have bought it in 2020 for 90 cents, man, you'd be all right.
I saw that too. I looked some history on that one too. Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah. All right, moving on down the list. Looking at a flat trend coming in this week at 3M Energy. I'm sorry, not 3M Energy, but 3M. $3.74 on sale. True value of $118.99. So that's like a sale price at the store, $118.99. So let's look at 3M. And so 3M is a stock we have not called out before. So let's look at it 1 year, 1 day real quick. And so this one had a high of 169.25 back in February 8th of last year. 3M's a pretty good company from a standpoint of profitability. So we see the earnings reports looking at 265 per share, 248, 269, and just recently a 228. And the dividends are looking at 149 per quarter. So pretty good company from a standpoint of dividends, from a standpoint of profitability. We do see a lot of manipulation in this stock back in August. I mean, you're looking at 47 million shares when you're looking at average of typically about 2 to 3 million a day. So 47 million, 38 million, 50 million, 34 million, 31 million, all in the span of a couple of days here in August going into September. So that pushed the price down from where the price wants to be, which is between 146 and 133, pushed it down from 143 all the way down in 1 day to 129, and in a few days pushed it down to 116. So the price got hit a low of 107 following all that in October, and then we see a nice little climb back into where we want the price to be, or where the price wants to be. It's still resisting on the SMA, the 180-day SMA I have here. So I think there's a lot of opportunity here with this one long term. I see a little bit of a pullback here in the last couple of weeks, and I think at 112.22. This is a great price point to get in. I see on looks like Monday, a lot of manipulation. See 10 million shares traded to the downside, going from 119 all the way to 114. So that needs to be covered. And I think it's a great opportunity to get that covered this week or the next following week. So 112.22, I feel pretty confident by Friday. 115.69, 119.11. So anywhere between 6 and 3% by Friday, but definitely holding this one longer term to attack the SMA again. In a couple weeks, you're looking at probably about 12% at 126. So a lot of opportunity with this one. I like what I'm seeing in the momentum. MACD's got a little bit of a pullback. So that's why I'm thinking 112.22 would be a great price point this week. So that's where I'm going in with 3M this week. That's what your call out for 3M.
For me, I got 108.38.
108.38. All right.
Yeah, that's the price I like.
Okay.
Playing close to the low of the actually it's 5 year, close to this 5 year low, right there at 107. So
Okay.
I think bouncing off of that would be, a pretty good entry point.
Because I'll be close to covering pretty much. I don't know if this is manipulation here. Would you call this manipulation back on 4 million? Yeah, I would say it's a little bit over the 2-3, the normal. You see a nice little to the upside here. So definitely could come to 108 easily. I can see that.
Yeah, and what's the and they pay how much they paying a dividend again? How much was it?
149 every quarter, pretty consistently. And going back. Let's go back a couple of years here, see if they've increased their dividend amount or decreased it. Looks like 149, 149, 148. So they increased a little bit, 147. So the last few years it's increased just a penny. Looks like so. But yeah, it's pretty consistent though. Not a bad one to hold, man.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think it's a hold.
Yes, sir. All right. Moving on to the next one this week. And moving at a flat trend this week. ProPetro, 33 cents on sale, true value of $9.83. So let's look at ProPetro. I called this one out. I think I called this one out and I didn't shoot. I didn't record the video. Called this out a couple of times since the beginning of the year. And so it's on a quarterly wave, kind of a +1. So it's extended quarterly, a little high. So that definitely some opportunity for this one to pull back some. But again, we just looked at the price of oil, crude oil. I think there's some opportunities with this one short term. But anyway, I had this one priced at $9.79 coming into the beginning of the year. Definitely came down below that, turned around pretty quickly the next week. Just looking at my price point to the high, 13% in 7 days. Very next week had a nice price at $9.61. So it didn't come down on that price. We see the following week, it did come down to as low as 901. So definitely 910 feels like a really good price point. I see a little resistance on the 5-day EMA. Looks like it does want to try to turn around. It is not blowing past the SMA like you would want to see. So definitely see some opportunity for it to come back to attack the SMA again. And maybe not this Friday, but the following Friday, this one could definitely be back into the $10 range. So $9.10 is not a bad price. And I think by Friday, anywhere between 939 to 985. So looking at 8 to 3%, 3.5% by Friday. The MACD's showing some signs of a pullback, which is another reason why I'm going at 910. And the momentum's also showing a little pullback. But I just showed the oil prices starting to pump up a little bit. And I think ProPetro could turn around a little bit because of that. So 910 is my price point this week for ProPetro. That's what you call out for ProPetro.
I got down 825.
Okay. 825.
And I'm just playing the bottom of that gap on this daily chart.
Okay. You looked at this stock before? Ever heard of it?
No, this is my first time I'm hearing about this one. It looks it don't look bad though. Like I think it's pretty good.
All right. Yeah, I haven't bought any. Again, I plan to purchase some here at the beginning of the year. I didn't put any alerts out, and so I missed on this one. Then I definitely had a plan to buy it this week, and it didn't come down to that price that week. So hopefully this week I can get in on ProPetro. And then last but not least, flat trend as well. Again, these flat trends, when we're hoping to turn around to get into a trend of a 2, a 4, 6, and then blow up into an 8 at some point. Got CrowdStrike as a long-term play. $2 and a penny, overpriced. True value of $102.34. And so I think we can get in a little cheaper than that. So I'm going to go with CrowdStrike this week. And this is it's internet security cloud-based company similar to SentinelOne and some of the other like McAfee companies that are out there. And so looking at a 1 year, 1 day, I hadn't called this one out before. I'm looking at 3 years in 1 day. Let's look at 1 year, 1 day. And so this one had a high of 242 back on April 13th. And we see this one is a profitable company. It's got earnings per share around 31 to 36 cents. Looks like they had a recent earnings call in last quarter of 40 cents per share. So this has been pretty much resisting the 180-day SMA consistently over the last year. Has been in price zone where it wants to be a few times this year, but it's well extended below that at this point. We see a lot of manipulation coming in at 38 million shares on November 30th. And so we see the price get pushed down from 140 to 110. And since then, we've seen a low of $92.25 as of the first of the year. So January 10th, we saw that. See a lot of volume starting to pick back up slowly but surely. Definitely see that in the MACD moving up and also the momentum as well. And so definitely see since 92.25 a nice little small progression path moving forward. I do see a resistance on the 13-day EMA back on the 24th, and we see that potentially pushing us down 13 days after that. So I think at 98.21, I could potentially get in on this one, and by Friday, or let's see, by 102.99 by Friday, or 109.74. So looking at about anywhere between 12 and 4.5% by Friday, but definitely long term, this one to return and attack the SMA in the future. I think this one's got a lot of opportunity to the upside, definitely to probably all the way up to about 160 potentially long term. So definitely like this one at 98.21 this week if I can get in. So that's what you call out for CrowdStrike this week.
Taking it off mute. A little more aggressive, but I got 102.71.
102.71. Okay. What's your thoughts on that? Where did you come up with that price point?
I just think it's a little positive. Like it's above its 8. It's 8 days above its 18. Momentum's looking good. I think it's just improving overall. So
okay.
I think it's pretty good. Got an upside gap to around 136. So
okay.
That spot.
This might be the first one ever. So you went above true value. True value is 102.34. You went to 102.71. So you're going to go up and get this one, I think, end of the day at 104.35. So 102.71 is right about, let me move into the 30-minute chart here. 271. It's right there. Okay, I got you.
Yeah, my first price target to be if I got in now to be 125.85. The next I'll look at 136.17.
Yeah, 'cause
So yeah,
like,
yeah, I'll probably clip a few at 125 and then the rest at 136.
so the strategy would be buy a few here and then pull back, buy some more. Gotcha. Gotcha.
Yeah, slow play this one too, but it's probably my favorite call out though this week. This
I
one,
liked it a lot too. I liked it a lot when I saw it. I saw the price points and looked at the chart. So,
like that. I think I don't think it's a bad one.
okay. All right. Well, I think that's it, man. Anything else you want? Oh, let's do some like it, love it, lose it, man. We haven't done that in a little while, so let's just do some random. Let's do three real quick. See, let's look at Cisco. So Cisco comes in flat trend, 80 cents over price at the 47.70 true value. So let's look at Cisco and see. This is one we like, love it, lose it. Look at it 1 year, 1 day. At current price at 48.51, I would say I like it. I don't love it, but I do like it at 48.51.
I don't like it. Not at this price.
You would lose it at the price. Okay.
Yeah, at this price.
Okay. All right. Let's look at Home Depot. Home Depot comes in at a trend of a $2.07 on sale at 318.76 true value. HD is the ticker. No, I'm losing it.
I'm pulling it up now. Yeah, it looks bad to me though.
Yeah, I think getting way cheaper than 316.69.
Yeah, 300 even.
I
Maybe
was gonna say
start.
I was gonna say 296. Looking at this uncover manipulation from here. So yeah, 300, 296 sounds good. Okay, so both losing
Yeah,
that
that's
one.
what you're saying. Yeah, 292. Yeah, 292 to 297. Yeah, I can see that.
And let's look at Walmart. Walmart comes in a trend of a $4.75 on sale at 148.05 true value. So let's look at Walmart's WMT here. Man, look at that manipulation.
Yeah, Walmart look crazy, man.
Man,
Yeah,
Walmart is
Walmart looks crazy.
look at this crap back here in May and June of last year. Mm, nah, I'll lose this price. Nah, it's mm-mm. Yeah,
I
I
got a
wouldn't know.
mark set. My mark on Walmart's at 125.
125.
Yeah, but I don't. That was probably a while ago. I don't remember why I got it there, but
Man, I'm seeing 121. So yeah, I can see that 121 uncovered manipulation all the way back to July of last year. Yeah, no way I'd buy it at 143. It's losing. I'm losing it. Losing it
yeah,
bad.
I'm looking. What is that? 159.88. The top of that day. That's ambitious though. I think I'd get there.
Yeah. So it actually came all the way back to pretty much match this price from last year. So yeah, I see a lot of downside from that. So yeah. Yeah, I could definitely wait on Walmart to get to 120, 121 for me. So all right. Well, that's it for this week, man. Daz, appreciate you joining me. So week 6, hopefully we'll have some good plays of the week as well, and look forward for some other stuff from us this year. Still working on some other things, some other ideas, and yeah, appreciate you joining us, and good luck trading this week.